Hello everyone, we are going to talk today about admin partitions. So this is a really cool feature that the NetScaler provided in the last release. So take in mind that the current firmware do not accept it. So to access this feature, you should download version 10.5, 52.1155 enhanced version. So what is exactly admin partitions? Admin partitions is the way that the NetScaler can use different users and different environments in the same box. So basically you can assign one partition to one specific client and he can create load balancers or he can create their own environment without affecting the other. So basically it's like a multi-tenant way to the NetScaler ADCs. So basically, you can apply it in one NetScaler BPX or one NetScaler MPX. So how does it work? So the configuration is quite easy. Just you go to partitions, you configure it. The first thing that you need to create is the name. So partition 01 in this case. Once you finish that, we assign the memory limit, connection limit, bandwidth, and the way that you can use it. So you can limit the bandwidth and you can change the values later. So once you create the admin partition, you can also isolate and dedicate a specific VLANs or a specific bridge groups to control isolation between the users. And finally, you can assign a specific user for this. In this case, I'm going to create a user for this admin partition, and I will assign the role of partition administrator. So we save the changes, we select the user, and we save. So then, how do we access? So we log out, we the username and the password. As you can see, this user has controlled elements like load balancer, content switching, SSL offload. We have the same feature of app expert and we are limited to the current license that you have. Something important to keep in mind is this user will not be able to change any VLAN configuration or any bridge group. That means that everything that you configure here is going to be completely isolated and is not going to be affected for another user or another partition, which is a really good feature. So whatever you configure here is just for this partition and nobody else is going to be affected. So that's the way that's configured. You can add additional users, however, it's not integrated with LDAP yet. Keep in mind that because as you can check here, it only works with local administrators or local users. Another important thing is that the role that you assign it is basically the role that you can use to control on the NetScaler. So if your role is only a read-only, you can change it later. And the NS root user, or at least the administrator, super administrator user is the only one that can do it. So let's go into logout. Finally, it's going to be a really cool feature that the NetScaler has also. So here in the top, you can choose the NS root user or the super administrator can choose between the local partition or the delegated partition. So you can switch and access to the same resource that the other user has. Here, this is important. For example, this user has assigned 10 megs of memory, and if you can check in the dashboard, the current memory that is being used is around 10%. So keep in mind that when you plan to delegate a user and an additional partition, you have to take in account that the memory used has a limit. After that, you might have any delays or problems about your configuration. So Keep in mind this bandwidth, the memory use, and with that information you will be able to have a really multi-tenant NetScaler. Alright? Thank you very much for watching and see you later. Bye.